Recently, I played with a major champion in the form of Graeme McDowell, and I noticed something very strange about his chipping, and he actually gave me a little tip, which I want to share with you guys today, that has really helped get those chips struck really crispy. And it was amazing watching him, because at first I expected him to be chipping it close all the time. Obviously a major champion, he's got a great short game. But as time went on and I was looking at each chip that he was hitting, I noticed something different, and I'm going to share that with you in this video today. And it's such a simple thing that we can do, and it will, I guarantee, start to get those chips really crisp, and that means that you'll be able to control your distance better and hopefully start knocking them into that tap-in length all the time. Let's take a look at what it is. We're just going to show you a few shots of Graeme here chipping and just see if you can notice what the difference is, because like I said, when I was watching, didn't really get it at the start, and then just one little thing, had a little conversation with him as we were walking along one of the fairways. Why are you doing that? And then he told me why he did it, and today that's what we're going to do. So let's just have a look at a few shots of Graeme now. So you might have got the change there and you might not have, and it was very subtle. And a little caveat for this can be done with any club that you are chipping with. So whether it's your lob wedge, whether you're playing a chip and run with a 7-iron, whether it's your pitching wedge, you can use it with all those clubs. What Graeme did say to me is that he probably uses it from 30 yards roughly and in. When he starts to need a bit more of a full swing, a bit more hinge and a bit more speed, he changes back to normal. And the change that he made was all to do with his grip. You might have noticed that the index finger on his lead hand, so his left hand for him, his glove hand, was actually covering his fingers like so, and that becomes pretty much like a putter grip. And the reason he did this, like I said earlier, was all to do with strike. Do you play all of them like that, Graeme, round the green, putting grip? Depends.
If I have room, if I have room and I want to get the ball tumbling forward, I'll get the club putter grip.
Yeah.
Helps me get it more vertical.
Yeah.
Which just makes the strike just kind of automatic nearly,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. He pretty much said that it would guarantee a pretty good strike, a pretty crisp, solid strike, and then that leads into your distance control, it leads into the spin, obviously leads into you hopefully getting it closer. And the reason he does this, if we think normally you might be an overlapper, an interlocker, a baseball grip, when you take your normal chipping stance with your normal grip, what we tend to see is that the shaft might be sort of sat on a little bit more of its normal plane, as where when we get into our putting grip now, what would tend to happen, and what Graeme said to me, is that he wanted to get a little bit closer to the golf ball. He wanted to make the shaft go a little bit more upright, then adopt this putting-like grip, and everything felt a little bit more like a putting stroke here. So from there then, once he's actually adopted, he would do his normal things with his chipping setup, i.e. smaller stance, weights towards the target, ball either in a different position depending on the lie and what shot he was trying to hit, but if we have it pretty central, he would then from there just pretty much just be rocking his shoulders in this slightly upright manner. And from there then, every time that he was chipping, what we were starting to see, that the strike was good, he got a good connection like that one, and you get a nice little kick in putt there, all because this little grip change. And like I say, I tried it out on the golf course to start off with when we were playing in the Pro-Am, and it felt strange to start off with because I was trying to almost adopt what I would do normally with a chipper, with my chips. But if you can start to see that if you get it a little bit more upright and then you get your putting grip, it's obviously not going to work if you're someone who uses like a 2-thumb putting method, but just a normal grip if you're an overlapper like so, and just take that index finger and just place it over here. It takes a lot of the wrists out, it takes a lot of that sort of uncertainty of the strike, and it just means that we start to work together, the arms and the shoulders as one, and get this nice little rocking motion, and from there then we can just pop it out each and every time. Get a good strike, just like so, and it starts to become really, really controllable. And I'm definitely going to switch to this method now when I start to get in and around the greens. We've seen lots of funky things like a Matt Fitzpatrick with his cack-handed chips, and then this one just stood out to me because it looks so subtle, but his control each and every time, you know, if he hit a poor one, it was just basically because of the actual amount of force that he put into it. But if you can get used to adopting a little bit more of this setup and then get used to how far you need to swing it for each one, I guarantee, like Graeme said to me, that those strikes are going to be better, and each time your chips are going to start to actually look something like that, where it becomes very, very simple. So give that a go, adopt that little putting like grip with your chips. Like I say, probably from 30 yards and in, when you're in and around the green, you can try this and you'll start to see that you get those crisp strikes and start to chip it better. Guys, hope you've enjoyed that lesson. Hit the sub button. See you soon in another one.